everyone, welcome to another video. We are gonna jump right into this one because we already started on the project and we forgot to do a before tour, so let's go ahead and get started.
We wanted to change the location of our attic entrance, so here you could see me building a new ladder on this wall. Oh, look at them, young couple. So there was a little bit of extra space between the door and the ladder, so I decided to put my aerosol cans there, and I built some shelves out of fence pickets. I thought it turned out pretty great.
They look amazing.
Pro tip, if you're as bad as me at fractions, you can download this fraction calculator, and it is a lifesaver.
Okay, so we are gonna go ahead and show you the before tour. Hi guys, so this is what we're working on. We'll probably put some pictures so you guys can take a look at everything. For now, Corey has already started in this section. This is where the air compressor is going to go, and then some of the other electric power tools are going to be on this side.
Pneumatic tools.
Sorry. So this one is giant, but the reason Corey built it this tall is so that you can work standing up. The problem is, as you guys know, any flat surface in our house, it's always covered in stuff. So I have to make a room and a home for all of this stuff. All this stuff is going to be covered with a pegboard so that we can hang a bunch of these little things like this. Don't fall. So you can hang stuff like this, and all the other little things that we can hang is going to be on this giant pegboard.
Or throw it away.
Or we're gonna have to do some cleaning too. This shelf is gonna come off so that again Corey can actually use his work surface that we are never able to use. And then over here, he's gonna stay the way he is. He's not the best looking guy in the world, but he works, so he's gonna stay like that. That's where all of our saws and power tools are. And then at the bottom over here, where there's no shelf, that's where the big circular saw goes, or the miter saw.
Yes, as a compound sliding miter saw.
Done. So this is the door that leads to Narnia. We don't go in here. But Corey already started on this section. Again, like a tiny home, you would make any space that you have useful. And so even though these guys are tiny, they do end up taking up a lot of space. So Corey already built this shelf, and then this is the ladder to our attic that is gonna get moved from there or there. I don't know. There's two different doors for the attics, and Corey doesn't like either one of them. So we're gonna make a hole over there to climb up. These shelves are probably gonna stay. They house a lot of big stuff. Some of this stuff is gonna go into the attic. And then the last thing is that we're gonna add a little section here with smaller shelves so that we can put some of the other cans too. Before we do all of that, we're probably gonna take everything down, clean it up, go through it, see what we can get rid of, and then paint the wall so it actually looks nice. On this side, it's gonna remain free because this is where we store all of our big items, like big pieces of furniture, pieces of plywood. So this is gonna stay clear. But here is gonna be the exciting part. And what we have thought about is, again, like you would a tiny house, utilize as much space as you can, but we're gonna build a table, a workbench that is big, and it's gonna fold up and then come down when we need it, and that way we can put it up when we're not using it. So that's the plan. We'll see how it turns out.
What? Give me a hell yeah! Hell yeah! Bear! What? More bear! What?
Got the spacers cut out for the pegboard. Again, I'm trying to do this on a budget, so most of this stuff is all fence pickets. I just made sure that my top bracket right here and my upper bracket are 3 feet apart. And then I cut a few supports in the middle just so it doesn't start sagging on me. That's that. I'm about to go cut the pegboard right now. So here's my pegboard. It is 4 feet by 8 feet long. I only need 3 feet of it, so what I've done is I've measured 3 feet, and I used my chalk line, and I popped me a line, and I'm going to trim off this extra foot.
And now to my favorite part, which is the organizing. I ended up doing this a couple times because originally I wanted to do a design on the pegboard, but we were gonna go on vacation, so I didn't think we had time, so I started just putting everything up.
On to the next. Here you'll see us ripping down a 2x4. into 2x2s.
Why didn't you just buy 2x2s?
Because it's cheaper just to buy the 2x4. And now you get 2 of them for the price of 1.
And you're using that for the frame.
Yes, and it has a square edge, and you still get the same structural integrity as a 2x4. Not gonna lie, y'all, it's pretty damn hot in that front yard. And when I set up, the sun wasn't shining directly on me, but I already had the camera and everything set up, so I decided to keep on working.
Oh boy, here comes the fun part.
Here we're building the frame for our folding workspace.
And you'll notice that the walls are still not painted. That's because we didn't have time to wait for the paint to dry. Normally you want to do that first, but we were going to go out of town, so we decided to build what we needed to build and then paint around it and leave the paint drying while we were out of town.
Sorry that the picture is blurry, but these are some heavy-duty commercial-grade hinges that we thought we got on clearance, but we actually ended up paying full price for them, which was a bummer.
We got tricked. We got.
Home Depot got one on us. Always make sure to pre-drill your screw holes. That's the #1 way to prevent your wood from splitting. If you're building something similar at home, remember to leave room for the hinge pins. As you see, we moved around the base of the table quite a bit to get the right amount of space.
This is the paint we got from, it's leftover from Corey's mom. And so it's really ugly. You can see over here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix it.
What you doing up there?
I'm trying to finish the last coat. What do you think?
I think you look sweaty.
I
think it looks good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know if you can see, but it was blue. And now it's not. Now it is Pacer white. Okay, the first stop of our grand tour is this area right here. I was finally able to consolidate all of my pneumatic tools. Got my air compressor, hose, framing nailer, coil nailer, my finish nailers, and my staple gun all in one spot. Not to mention the accessories such as the tire gauge and my hoser offer. When we started this, we wanted to spend no money and we wanted to revamp our garage. What I had was a bunch of scrap wood, as you can see over here. I'm a collector of fence pickets. So I drive around the neighborhood, and if people are replacing their fence, a lot of times I'll just put them up by the road, or while they're replacing it, I'll ask them if I can take them, and they say yes most of the time because nobody wants to deal with that. Well, that's also a great source of wood. You have 2x4s, 4x4s, you have your fence picket, and they're all about 6 foot to 8 foot long already. So all you have to do is disassemble them and you have good wood that already has the distressed look that you're looking for.
If it's cedar, because the pine, we don't collect those.
Well, even if it's pine, you can discard the pickets and still take 2x4s and 4x4s.
And actually how that all started is because Corey redid the roof on our patio,
Right.
and then we did like a vaulted ceiling and we did a bunch of random fence pickets, and we did that for free because Corey had found a fence picket. So after that we were left. And that, dear friends, it's why we did the biggie test, because that boy climbed from there all the way up there, and he is on a mission to get into the attic hole right here, which will be moved to where Biggie is, but for now it's still up there. But he is on a mission. and chances are he's gonna figure out how to get up there. Oh no! So next we're gonna move to this section. I think the last time these countertops were empty is when they were built. As you guys know, we have a small house and we have a lot of tools and paint and equipment and all kinds of stuff. And so it's really hard for us to keep flat surfaces clean, which is why we built a different workbench situation on a different video that we have. We'll probably link it here if you guys are curious. But anyway, back to this. Corey, for some reason, hated pegboards, and for the longest time he refused to have a pegboard. I finally talked him into it because I got sick of having all this stuff on top of the counters and us being unable to use the counter. So we put up a whole sheet of pegboard, and that is what, 8 feet? Mm-hmm. It's 8 feet by 3 feet. So we cut 1 foot off and then we just hung it up there. There's a couple supports that go through the middle, and then we were able to hang pretty much everything that was on these countertops up on top of that. So now we know exactly where everything is and we don't have to move things around. Pegboards are amazing. The next thing we did is I painted this, guys, and normally we wouldn't have spent all the time painting and trying to make it look pretty because it's really rough cuts. We didn't sand, we didn't really prep much. It's a workshop, so it's gonna get dirty, it's gonna get dusty all the time, and so we didn't want to worry about it, but I want it to look somewhat pretty. We work here, or nice I guess I should say. We work here and we spend a lot of time here, and I don't want my house to look unfinished. That's been one of the projects that we're working on, trying to get all of the rooms in our house finished because they never have been. So here, this was already existing. We didn't do much to this because Corey had already built it and we like the way it is. So this one, all I did was touch up with paint just so that it looks pretty. Mr. Toolbox lives generally in Corey's truck. He comes out and plays with us every once in a while. This is our plumbing department, sheetrock and painting department, and that's this too. So eventually we're probably gonna get different crates, something that looks a little bit better to organize this. But we're going out of town, and so we ran out of time. We just wanted to get this video up. You guys get the gist of it. If we can change this and make them look a little bit prettier, we'll do that. Here's our spare air compressor. He's so cute. He's 6 gallons. So we don't get rid of it because sometimes Corey will be working on something else and maybe I can use it for smaller projects. Framing nails department, and then finally over here there's some like a bunch of buckets of paint, sheetrock mud, and all. So over here we have some more of the painting department, and here we have kitty department. So kitty department runs around, it changes all the time, but it's important to give him his belly rub. This, guys, this one was already built as well. We just moved some of the stuff that was here. Some of the stuff that was higher up, we moved to the other side. But over here is where we keep the compound miter saw, and it's really heavy. And we use it quite frequently. This is the stands where it goes. For now, it works there. It's clear and we know where it goes. It's really heavy, so we don't want to put it on any shelves. And when we need to set it up, we take it out and we move it outside. And over here are most of our power tools, all of the sanders.
Here we have these stains that were not here before.
It's the stain department.
Stain department. As you notice that these are fence pickets as well. Almost everything in here is a fence picket.
Pretty much everything that is in this garage is repurposed. So fence pickets or all wood that we already had.
The pegboard that she just showed you, that's trimmed out with fence pickets. The frame and spacers are made with fence picket.
The only thing we had to spend money on was 2x4s, and we'll show you what we did.
And the pegboard.
And the pegboard. So
total cost that we did all this for was $140.
It was $138 plus the hooks, so like $150.
Alright, it's about $150.
No,
but you know, we already had these shelves built and we already had a lot of scrap wood. This isn't ideal at the moment. It's functional, which I like it, but I went on a crazy bag buying spree at Home Depot. They had these bags right here for $5, and so I bought 3 of them because I had a bunch of tools that did not have any case. I have my multi-tool, I got belt sanders, palm sanders, I got a triangle sander, door hinge templates, I have a grinder, we have another drill, Blanca's little bitty cute toolbox that only gets used for very, very simple things, hand planer, router, corded drill, everybody needs a corded drill for when all else fails, my paint sprayer, and my left-handed circular saw, which I'm very proud of that. Alright, so funny story actually is this cabinet is made out of 1x6s, and the only reason I have these is because I tried making a tabletop and it went so horribly wrong that I disassembled it and I almost lit it on fire, but I didn't. Instead, I just disassembled it and I made shelves out of it. Went ahead and built me an automotive department. I got my transmission fluid, power steering fluid, oils, you know, all that good stuff. These shelves were here. My brother and myself, we made these. They're very sturdy. This holds just all of our other junk that we really don't know what to do with. You know, we got tarps, water coolers, cat kennels for when hurricanes come through and whatnot, or when we're traveling. This is our fishing department. This gets used the least of the garage.
So tell our friends what's behind that door and the reason why we only have half of a garage to set up our workshop.
Alright, so this is a 2-car garage, but I'm a musician as well. That's my first love. I'm sure you've seen this door in some of our videos. Well, today you're finally going to see what's behind it. I have been a drummer since 2003. I know that's a long time. I was 13 then, I'm 30 now. You do the math because mine ain't so good. But about 6 years ago, I started a band with my best friend. We had like a drum set and just a couple amps, and that was it. And we used to just practice in our living room all the time. But over the years, we became more self-sufficient and independent of like normal music venues, and we acquired all of this gear, like the mixer, the giant speakers. So we needed a place to put it, and the living room was just getting a pain in the ass to set it up and break it down every time we wanted to have practice. We ended up building this room. That was about 3 years ago. My dad, my brother, and myself really put a lot of work into it, and we got air conditioning, we have recessed lighting. If you can see the drop down here, the reason for that is because we wanted to keep the garage door functioning. So we dropped it down for the garage door, so it actually goes up over the band room. And that was purposeful. So this isn't an accident, and it's not the most aesthetically pleasing thing to look at, but it's functional.
It looks small from the camera, but
Yeah,
it's
it
not
looks
small.
but,
It's
know,
what?
I'm 6 foot 6'1", so I'm still standing here.
Right.
So we're good.
How much did you say it was?
It's 9 feet by 20 feet.
So that's plenty of room.
Plenty of room. Way plenty of room. We got lots of space, and it's air conditioned in here. So.
So we have all the big speakers on that side, and then the cases where the drums go whenever we take them out.
Last but not least, we're on our crowning jewel. We created this workspace so we would have 32 square feet of clean working surface. Popping my clamps up there, folds out over our deep freezer, and it's just a big, solid working space.
And then the paint. That is it, guys. This is definitely not our dream shop, but this is what we have. And the big inspiration for it was to make the most with what we have and spend as little as possible. So all in all, we spent about $160, $175. And the main expense was the 4x2s and the 2x2s that we used to build this frame, all of it, and then the plywood we already had. The hinges we also bought for this project, and then the pegboard. That was it.
We need this space to be as flexible as we are.
Right. We also have... Alright guys, we are all done and we have one final test for the garage. Let me go grab the test and then we'll
Test subject.
No, we're the subjects.
No, he's the test subject.
The garage is the test subject. But we'll administer the test. Hold on just a second. Okay guys, so this is the test that we're going to administer. This is Biggie. He is our youngest boy and he is the king of mischief. So here we go. He likes to climb up in the garage and then we can't ever find him. So let's see what he says. What do you think? There he goes! Now we need to make sure we know how to get him back.
What?
Maybe you have to guide him. Can you create a trail up there?
Vita is not interested. So.
It is. There he goes. There he goes. Yes. Yes. Yay! Okay. Now that we know that it's Kitty safe and Kitty approved and Kitty can climb whatever he wants because he's gonna do it anyways, we're good to go. We will call this garage a success.
I mentioned earlier, I took everything down and I decided to put some decor into this pegboard. I actually used a pan lid from the kitchen to trace the circles for the kitties, and then I kind of free-handed that and added some whiskers, and that was it. So I hope you guys liked it and you get some inspiration to make your workshop your own. That is it. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, Felicia.
How do you catch a unique kitty?
And just shake his cookies.
You sneak up on him. How do you catch a tame kitty?